Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a budget comparison video. So a few weeks ago I was on my computer looking through some photos and I came across a screenshot of my December 2017 budget. And I thought I should compare it to my December 2020 budget and see if I've had really any lifestyle creep. So like lifestyle creep is where when you start to make more money, you just end up spending more money and you like inflate your lifestyle to meet your current income. So I wanted to check and see kind of how our bills have changed over the past few years. So a little bit of a backstory. In December 2017, we were in the middle of paying off all of our debt. We started in the summer of 2017 and we had about $57,000 worth of debt. So at this point, we're only a few months into paying off our debt and we had a very strict budget. At the time, we were saying no to a lot of things. I had a side hustle that was bringing in some money. Also, my husband was going to school full-time and him and I were both working part-time. At the time, we had an almost 1-year-old and I worked from home part-time and my husband had a job part-time that he went into and then he went to school full-time. So it was kind of a little crazy, but we weren't bringing in a lot of money. We lived in a different home. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And fast forward to today, we make about double what we were making then. And so I'm curious to see if our lifestyle has increased as much as our income has increased. So I thought I would take you along and show you the comparisons of the two budgets to see kind of how we're doing. So let's take a look. Okay, so here I've laid the two budgets side by side and I thought we would take a look first at mortgage, which typically is the most expensive expense. So in 2017, we were paying $930 a month in our mortgage. We now pay $1,200 a month. This was a fixed 30-year loan. This is a 15-year loan. But overall, the mortgage payment is fairly similar. The next thing is electricity. We do pay a little less in electricity now. And that's because we do split the bill in half with my dad because he lives in an apartment downstairs. So yeah, some months we end up paying a lot more than this though. Like during the dead of winter, our bill is a lot more expensive, in the hundreds. But anyways, so still we're fairly similar. Cell phone bill, we just pay a couple dollars more, but we get a lot more benefits now than we did back then. So we get Disney Plus included and Apple Music included. We still have the same life insurance policy. So as you can see, that total is the same. Next is our car insurance, and our car insurance went from $135 to $100 a month, so it has gone down. Next we have water, sewer, garbage, and we were paying $90 a month in 2017. We now pay $12.50, and that's because we have a well, so we don't have to pay for water every month, and we have septic, which we just save a little bit aside for to do every few years, or to pump every few years. And so the only thing we're really paying for is garbage, which is $12.50. And here's where things start to get different. So here we had a pump for our heat pump because when we first moved into this house, I think the first year we had to do a new furnace and heat pump, and it cost about 10 grand for everything. So we had a payment of $135 a month. Next we have internet, and you can see that has gone up drastically. We were paying $64.99 for I think 60 megs, and we only have 10 megs now and we pay $105, and that's just due to living rurally. There's not as many internet options. They charge you a lot more for a lot less. Next is our home maintenance. And our home maintenance is exactly the same. We just set aside $100 a month for home maintenance to cover little things that may come up. Car maintenance. This month we must have been setting aside money for something. Maybe it was tires or something. But typically we don't spend that much on car maintenance. So $18 in 2020 and $100 in 2017. Here's where things get a little crazy. We spent $355 on food in 2017, and in 2020 we spent $1,029.81. And that is because when we were on our debt-free journey, we were buying the cheapest food we possibly could to make it by. Now we buy typically all organic. We also have my sister and my brother-in-law staying with us for the month of December. They were staying with us, so we had to also pay for food for them. So that's where the big difference comes from. Next, we have two expenses that were not in our 2017 budget, and that is household items and eating out. So we did not eat out during this portion of our debt-free journey. And as far as household, that's like vitamins, toothpaste, toothbrushes, all the household things, like cleaners and everything you need. Back in 2017, I was including it in the food. So that's why it's not separated out. Next is our spending money. So in 2017, we got $80, 40 for me, 40 for my husband. And in 2020, we were getting $100, 40 for me, 40 for my husband, and 20 for my oldest, just because if I wanted to go get like a snack or go hang out with a friend, I might need a couple dollars to pay for her to eat something or go do something. So that's why that went up a little bit. Next up is gas. So in 2017, we did $130 in gas. And in 2020, we did $100. That's a lot due to the fact that we're just not driving as much. I sometimes had to drive into my job at this point, and my husband had to go to school, 5 days a week. So we were doing a lot more driving. Next is the clothing. Looks like we did $50 in clothes in 2017. And in 2020, we did $47. And here in 2017, we spent $70 on our animals. And here you can see we spent $200. And that's because we had a vet visit that month to get their annual shots. Typically we do that in November, but we were a little bit behind, so that hit our budget. Okay, so the last two items are not on my 2020 budget, so I thought I would just share them really quick. We made an extra debt payment of $300 in December 2017, and at the time we did not have employer health insurance, so we did have to pay $300 a month for our health insurance through the marketplace for me, my husband, and our daughter. Okay, and the last things on our 2020 budget was Christmas. We were not doing, I don't think we did Christmas gifts in 2017, so that's why we have a spot for that in 2020. We also have quite a few birthdays. I have a niece, my husband, and my mom's birthday is in December, so we had quite a few gifts to buy, and then we were bulking up our vacation fund a little bit to take a vacation. I guess something I forgot to mention is a major difference between these two budgets also is we did have one more baby in between. So we now have 2 girls versus 1 girl. But anyways, here's the grand totals. $3,166 in 2017 versus $4,455 in 2020. So it went up a little bit over $1,000, about $1,300. But our income has doubled. So I feel very good about that. I feel like that's what allows us to make a lot more progress. So overall, looking at this information, I feel very happy. Our income has over doubled, and we have paid off all of our debt since then, and we're not spending like crazy, which makes me feel good because you kind of sometimes feel like, you're just spending all your money all the time. Some things I didn't include in the budget were some of my sinking funds for like appliances, home renovations, preschool, because preschool is expensive. I did not include those things in this budget because they weren't actually things we spent money on, so I didn't want to include them. But overall, very happy with the results. I would love to find some other months that I did budgets and compare. December's kind of a hard month with the holidays. There's always a lot going on. You're always spending a little extra in December. But now that I'm doing my no spend year, my expenses are even less than this. And that's crazy to think about. I bet you I'm pretty close to what we were spending in 2017.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I believe my next video will be my March no spend update. A lot of interesting information is going to be in that, and I hope to see you guys there in that video. Bye.